Because especially in the Jehovah's Witness church, from the research that I've heard from Javi, who's putting together that documentary, essentially you're basically going through the hierarchy of, I guess, the political system, and because they tell you to not vote for politics and shit like that, but each congregation has a president, a treasurer, and all that shit. It's modeled after the goddamn
circuit
thing.
overseer.
Yeah, like you're basically
like
modeling it.
And then each congregation or each circuit has a
District
like
district overseer.
district overseer. But the circuit overseer, when they come to that circuit, there's always like they own a house for him to stay at, like nice, clean, furnished.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking crazy.
And if you got a complaint, if somebody violated you or anything like that, you're not supposed to go to the police. You're supposed to go to the elders, and then the elders start taking it through, the process of talking to this guy and talking to this guy and figuring out what to do with you. And then they'll reprimand you within the church, but the charges go unnoticed with the law. Like, this shit is crazy. And all that shit's just sitting in a folder, because they keep tabs on everybody.
They keep tabs on everybody, bro. They gotta be.
I saw my folder.
Scientology learned from somewhere. They learned from somewhere.
One of the last meetings that I had with them right before I got this fellowship was when they showed me my folder of complaints. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what do you want me
What
to
are you
do,
gonna say, man? What do you expect from me, eh? It's me, man. This is who I am.
To do? And then those same people were ones that eventually, not only did they get in trouble, but they got in trouble like really publicly. Doing the same shit, bro.
I mean, doing the same shit, man. I mean, it's a very crazy, sheltered life. And I see, I hate to say it, man. I know kids, some of them that weren't, exposed to, I guess, as they say it in this shit. When I was talking to Jose that time, I told you, worldly things, as they would call it.
Worldly.
People who weren't exposed to worldly things or things of the world, when they do become exposed to it, I guess it's an overload, man. Some of them just can't handle it, and it's like you see it, man. You see some kids like, and it's, I don't know, it's elders' kids, man. I know elders' kids from my congregation, elders' kids from your congregation.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like it happens.
The more sheltered they are, the higher they want to fly when they fucking let the window open.
Yeah, man, and it's fucking crazy, man. People weren't paying attention, and they weren't prepared yet, I guess. And he thought the shelteredness and the good word of the boy J-Hove would help. And
like the reason I had such a big file was because of people like that. The exact same people that you described, the ones that, everybody was like, you should find someone like this to be with, to marry, not realizing the dirt that was happening behind the scenes.
That's almost like knowing you want to do something illegal. Like, yo, like I want to start up, like let's say I want to start like an illegal enterprise, whatever it is, but I'm gonna go and marry this cop, this fucking federal officer, this FBI agent.
What are you doing?
What are you, like? You know what I'm saying? Like come on, man. Like the two just don't add up, man.
Oh shit!
It's fucking nuts though. That shit with the Boy Scouts, because I thought that was settled already. Like it's come back out again.
That shit's still circulating. I see it on my fucking Facebook timeline.
I saw that not too long ago, man. I guess with everything going on, I guess in the world, it's come back up. That these guys were always,
And what blows my mind is that nobody knew.
I feel like
nobody checked.
I feel like people knew. Like back then, it feels like it's. Even now, man, like when you see some of these videos, like on Facebook, of kids telling their parents, like that a step parent or a mother's boyfriend touched them, these little girls, and the mother completely ignoring the little girl,
yeah, blaming them.
Yeah, like why are you doing like what type of one are you
trying to ruin what I have?
Yeah, like you fucking stupid fucking whore. Like when I see these videos, I just think if I could reach through this phone, and like not really hit you, but like really like fucking Chris Rock,
just shake your ass up,
like, and really like hold you not like by your shoulders and like, what's wrong?
I needed a close up on that one.
Like the fuck out of here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? Like you don't, like you have like a kid's telling you this and you don't listen. Like my parents always told me any little thing, you know you could come to me. Any little thing, I'll listen. And fucking that people like these kids are telling their parents and they just completely ignore it.
Ass parents out there.
And then you hear stories from people. My mother didn't believe me. No one believed me. No one listened. Like when you meet people, when you be knowing people that work for social services, hearing those fucking horror stories.
Bro, the other day, Brenna was watching this fucking Paris Hilton documentary that just came out. And that shit, like they sent her to a fucking place to get tortured as a kid, like that, yo. And there was a group of them.
She said she became that blonde airhead as a persona.
Yeah.
Bro, I read about it. I didn't watch it.
I saw pieces of it. Like I wasn't there watching it, but I was trying to get work done. But key parts, especially when she got all the girls together that were in that school together. Everybody's just telling their stories about how they was getting abused and all this shit. They go and they kidnap you from your house, and you wake up in a fucking solitary confinement room. Like this shit is like some V for Vendetta shit, bro.
Like and people think there's no problem with that, bro. Especially in that like rung of society or trying to get to that rung of society. This is normal. This is normal shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's troubling, bro. It's
I gotta say, that's not like a poor trait. Like poor people don't have their parents kidnapped and then sent. You can't even afford to do that shit.
You can't even afford to think of that shit.
So essentially, it's like when you see these wealthy ass people send kids off to boarding school and shit like that. This was like boarding school to the fucking extreme, bro. This was torture school. Imagine fucking getting kidnapped from your own crib, bro, and you waking up and they had her there for a couple of years. Like she did years in that place, bro.
That's fucking crazy. Like it's messed up, bro. And I mean,
no wonder she made that persona, bro, just to escape her real life.
It's sad, bro. It was. I mean, but then like I was talking about, like the free. Have you been paying attention to this Free Britney movement shit?
No.
The whole you know how Britney Spears is under the conservatorship. She
that she got a $1,500 a week or month allowance.
She has no say over, like really no control over her life. It's her dad and a team of doctors and people he's selected. And she has no control as a grown woman. And really, you think about when this happened, we were in high school, bro. Like just leaving high school when Britney went, the whole Britney went crazy, hysteria moments and shit. And knowing that it was a bit of mental illness also with a bunch of other shit, a bunch of industry shit that played in, man, if you're in the know or if you think you're in the know. Seeing that shit is sad, man, the whole, like, how she is, man, and seeing these videos of her, like, she doesn't look well. Like, she looks well physically, but not mentally. Like, there's that vacant eye look.
You got that Manchurian Candidate shit. And they probably got a word that they say, and then she just goes into a fucking trance. They probably would have her fucking in one of those small theaters watching propaganda films, brainwashing her ass, bro.
Who God knows, man. All I know is like seeing these videos that she has put out sometimes, bro. People share them. It's kind of sad. Like she's a grown woman. Like she still has that. She's got to be pushing 40 soon. And she still has that like baby. Like, hey, you like the baby dog, like that's
probably hitting her with adrenochrome and she don't even know it.
God knows who knows what it is, bro. But it's just
they don't even know it, bro.
It's a sad life, bro. Looking at it, bro, like look that shit up. I mean, B probably knows about it, but looking at that shit, and it's like it was supposed to be for a short time till she got well, and like she managed to do an entire Vegas residency, but she was not well enough to manage her own life. Like, she was how many nights a week for how many years? She did that for like 2-3 years almost, that Vegas residency.
Yeah, they was probably torturing her behind the scenes, bro.
Probably. Who knows? God knows, bro. God knows. All I know is that it's a sad life.
Well, with that being said, I think it's about time that we transition into Zoe Knows. It's 10:30. So, of course, we're going to bring on Big Zoe, right? Big Zoe's coming on today. So once we get Zoe calling in, I actually watched a couple of the games. Did you watch? You saw
I don't
them, right?
like on Sundays. I watch Red Zone. I didn't watch much of the Sunday night game or the Monday night game. I was watching TV with my girlfriend. I saw highlights. The biggest thing, the biggest thing I noticed was the injuries, man. The rash of injuries across the league. Like it was crazy. He said he's waiting to be let in.
You know, I actually went to S Street and set up this Google Meet stuff so that we could start bringing on video guests over there. And we ended up, I got to shout out Danny Garcia at First Live because he taught me how to do this shit, bro. And I went over there and we got a crazy setup now. There he is.
There he goes. He decided to put himself on camera today. And second, acknowledge him, put himself off.
Every time I figure out something, oh, yeah, you got to vote right there. What is it, 41 days away, like you said?
41, 42 days away, something like that. He says he's waiting to be let in the meeting. That'd be on your end.
He's not on here. What happened, Danny? He's supposed to... I'll send him the link again, but all you got to do is click. First off, that AD buzzer beater. Did you see that?
It's the Lakers expected LeBron win a championship. Don't matter. AD, cool for AD. He's never done that in the playoffs before. As far as it comes to LeBron win a championship, or it doesn't matter.
It's always exciting for me to see a really tall person hit them long shots. That's like a Dirk thing.
It's a everyone thing now. It's the game now. Unfortunately, as a big man, if you can't do that, you might not get much playing time. You have to be able to stretch the floor or be a super dominant inside presence, and there aren't many of those in the league anymore. So most of these guys, that's a part of the game, is stretching the floor. Like you have to be able to do it.
It was almost like unspoken law that when you play any basketball video game, don't shoot outside the perimeter with a big man.
That's not even, that was unspoken law. Playing basketball, if you were a big man back in the day, don't shoot out of the paint or try to do anything if you're not a big man.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not. All you got to do is click the link.
I have no idea, man.
That's one thing about this Google Meet shit.
He's saying it says you'll join when someone says you'll let them in. That's on you. That's me on your end. Like there's a little side that says the people. See if it shows you there.
Bro, I'm on it. Like I see it.
I don't know. I don't know what you want to tell you. That side. It's not on my end. I don't control this on my end.
How are we gonna figure this out? You just gonna stop talking?
Well, we figure this out. What are we gonna figure out here? What are we like he's saying? It's saying like it says you'll join when someone lets you in. That's all it's saying. That's what he says. It's saying both times. They tried it. That's what he's saying. It says. Do you see what it says or?
It just shows the regular screen. It's just
like on the side, it should be a thing that says meet and details.
That's what I'm on, and it shows me and you. There he goes. See, that wasn't me.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, brother?
What's going on?
Ain't shit, man. Ain't shit, B. Well, thank you for coming on with us this morning. First off, bro. Secondly, bro, we gotta get into it.
I'm not a morning person, yo.
Yeah, man. It's not that hard though. You're an adult, man. It's 10:30. Honestly, I'm not a morning person, and I just can't sleep more than 8 hours. I can't even force myself to stay up in the day.
Get a headache if I
don't
sleep
take
too
naps
long.
anymore. I don't use caffeine.
Listen, bro. I told you I've been having to take motherfucking Tylenol PMs to make myself go to sleep. Right?
Nah, you didn't tell me that, man. But I don't know. Maybe if you
could get addicted to that shit, bro.
Yeah, man. Maybe try force yourself to. I don't know what it was that I really feel like it was our first Good Morning Bushwick run is when I started. I had to wake up early every day, and that shit stuck. Like before that, I would sleep all day. I can't sleep past 10, 11 o'clock anymore.
Before all this happened, you know what I mean? You know I was living that bouncer life too. So
yeah, and once I broke that nightlife cycle, I broke that sleep cycle a long time ago.
Yeah,
I never fell back into it.
I was still deep in it.
Nah, I let that like, and that's the thing too. You still do nightlife shit. I have to call it a night. Like you saw me on Thursday. Like I told you, I don't even remember getting home that night. Like we went out for a couple drinks on Wednesday. We had like three, maybe two, three.
Yeah, about 3 drinks.
We had about 3 drinks.
Shout out the Pine Box Rock Shop.
Yes, sir. And then I told you I had the lunch the next day with everyone from the theater, and we went from Hurley's to Weston to the DL, and I told him like we were having a ball. I really, honest to God, don't remember leaving. I barely remember leaving Weston. I don't remember the ride there at all, and
I'm not gonna get into that, buddy.
What, the ride?
Yeah.
What'd I do?
I don't think you want me to say that.
I guess we'll talk about it.
See, I'm gonna have to call you later.
We'll talk about that off air.
Nah, I guess we'll discuss that. Text me when I'm done with you, cause I'll laugh at it on that myself.
Shit.
You didn't tell me actually what I did.
What happened?
I actually didn't do anything when I was speaking to you when I called you the other day when I video chatted.
You didn't do nothing, but you didn't do nothing crazy, but I don't think you know what I mean. I think you might want to save that for a sidebar.
Cool. I guess we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. I don't remember this. I hear people do this to me. Text me.
You got kind of banged up, mate.
Huh?
You got banged up, mate?
I was fucked up, bro. Like I told you, I don't remember the ride. I don't remember leaving the DL. I remember walking in and like y'all saying something about Nick Chubb. Did I drink any at the DL?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Like, why would I can't even? I'm not even gonna say anything else because that could possibly get them in trouble. I definitely shouldn't have had any more to drink, man. I had a lot with Meg. You obviously know whenever we're with Megan, we're gonna drink a lot. We had a good time. From what I can remember. But you heard how I got home, bro. Like there was just a trail of stuff leading to me.
Yeah.
At least where I was. But yo, we have to talk about this weekend, man. This past weekend in football, because Sunday was just. I mean, there weren't many injuries Thursday night in the Thursday night game. Weren't many in the Monday night game, or the Sunday night game for that matter. But the actual afternoon games on Sunday, man, were just.
And there's still injuries at this point. There's still injuries pouring in. I just saw an update. Sterling Shepard's out. They put him on the IL for turf toe.
Like I saw, man, a couple of them. I saw the Nick. Who's the one on the Chargers? The Nick Bosa. I saw that injury live, watching it when it happened. Man, I saw both Saquon injuries. Like, first off, he shouldn't have been. After I saw his wrist, bro, I was like, oh my God, like he's done. Like the way his wrist twisted on that first fall, the way he spent around and had all that weight on his elbow.
Well, the way when it comes to Saquon. I think we said, I think I told you this last week. Like, I stayed away from anything Giants related in fantasy football because of that offensive line. Like, that offensive line is trash. It wasn't their fault he got injured on that play, but eventually it would have been their fault. But I think that's also from him taking all that pounding last year. He took a pounding last year. Because of that offensive line, the offensive line was trash, and he is getting hit. I think this year he just got that. It's just one little thing. That's a straw.
It was just a weird. He landed weird on his knee.
That's like $40 million guaranteed right there.
That he landed weird on his knee, man. The way it twisted, the weight on him, the way you saw it, man. It was just. I mean, but like I said, after I saw his wrist, I thought he was done for the day. I thought there.
I feel bad for him because football, you know how they are with football and contracts, especially contracts for running backs. He just lost maybe $30-40 million.
He lost a chunk of money.
I was about to ask this. If someone gets hurt and they have a big money contract, that money just goes away?
It possibly can in football. Your non-guaranteed money can go away, and that's the thing a lot of these guys fight
football
for.
Is crazy that football is the most violent, most contact, bang bang physical sport, and their contracts are not guaranteed.
it takes the biggest toll on you. I think football
Yeah,
does, and you see it does, and it just
it's
like it's like these contracts, and like I was talking to somebody about it. I think when I for whoever it was I was talking to the other day. That's why you see a lot of these guys now. I don't want the big money contracts anymore. Some of these guys later in their career, they're looking like you look at a extension like what Julio Jones took, where he could have been, gotten another $100 million with X amount of dollars guaranteed for X amount of years. But he said, "Nah, I'll take this amount fully guaranteed for this amount of years." And it was way less than he would have gotten had he signed that long contract, but he probably wouldn't have gotten close to that much guaranteed.
Yeah.
And he got like close to $66 million guaranteed, which is unheard of in a football contract. Look at DeAndre Hopkins contract he just signed. Like that's like $59 million guaranteed for a 2-year extension.
football. Football is the only sport to me where it's like the owners, as soon as they sign the contract with you, they're actively looking for ways to get from under the contract. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like football is the most disingenuous, when it comes to their contracts and their labor and their players union. The players union is the least powerful of all.
Oh man, the NFL
You
players union is
know,
the least powerful in all
and
sports. I
you
mean,
know what I mean? Like if you're playing a sport like football, you should get more than what I mean? Like you just asked Alex, like say a guy signs $100 million contract. It's not $100 million contract. You have to look at how much that money is guaranteed. You might sign $100 million contract, but only 40 million is guaranteed. And after they pay you that 40 million, they could cut you and be off the hook for the rest of that 60 whenever they want.
And
yeah,
that 40 million is still taxed revenue.
taxed,
Oh,
agent,
of course.
business people, all that shit, and
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 baseball and basketball, as soon as you sign the contract,
it's
once
guaranteed.
you sign on, is you get paid that no matter what. Look at all the bad signings the Mets have had over the years, i.e.,
Bobby
Jason
Bonilla
Bay,
Day.
and paying that motherfucker all the money we paid him.
Bobby Bonilla Day. Like over the years, the Yankees how they have
Don't get no
it's a thing
stop,
in
please,
baseball.
because every time Brian brings up Bobby Bonilla Day, like he's my best friend, and I want to fight him every time he says that.
Yo, Louis brings it up to me every year too, bro. Louis sends it to me every day. He's like, "Yo, Zo, it's coming up on Bobby Bonilla Day, don't you?" He doesn't send it to me the exact day, but he sends me a reminder that week. He's like, "Yo, it's Bobby Bonilla Day this week, right? A few days before."
Brian will post something on Facebook about it and then tag me in it on the day. Like I don't know why he knows this day. Like you're a Yankee fan. Worry about Yankee shit. Worry about that contract y'all paid Jacoby Ellsbury. That's y'all Bobby Bonilla.
Worry about picking up John Carlos monstrosity. Yo, he hasn't even
Uh,
totaled the total home runs he hit that last year since he's been in New York. These 2 years now, 3 years.
no, it's something. It's something about free agents that comes to New York and not being able to perform,
Everyone's not.
especially especially to the Yankees. Who's a Yankee free agent that they've signed, like a big time free agent that they signed that lived up to the billing?
I would say maybe CC Sabathia.
No, because that contract looked bad in the last 3 years.
The extension looked bad. The original contract not bad. The extension they signed when they gave him
Yeah,
extra
okay.
money that was
Okay,
bad.
I get that one.
I'll say the original Teixeira contract when he came over too, man. He wasn't before his knee went and he had to retire early. That wasn't a bad signing either. I could say for the Yankees. But other than that, they have a long list of bad signings. I mean, a couple of teams do. It's a baseball thing. It's a baseball thing.
Yeah, but I like it more when it happens to the Yankees.
I like it when it's not the Mets, man. As long as when it's not the Mets, man, there's nothing better than that at all, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I like it more if it's not the Mets or when it happens to the Yankees.
As
Like
long,
both, just like
as long for
it's
me,
just kind of
they're equally
that.
cheerful. But as long as it's not the Mets, it's better for me, man. Here's the thing, right now. I want to talk to you about this. We got Steve Cohen signed. Steve Cohen's going to take control of the Mets, pending approval of the Major League Baseball owners, which they appear he will be. With everything I read, he'll be coming into Major League Baseball, new owner of the Mets potentially, as the richest owner in all of baseball.
Is Steve Cohen who Billions is based on?
I feel like partially someone says something like that or something else. I don't know. I do know people have said his money he was investigated once by the SEC or something, or like someone.
It says Steve Cohen, right?
Yeah, I don't know 100% if I'm not mistaken. I know he grew up a Met fan, like I believe he's from Long Island. You know, because obviously you know his name, and you know, because I feel like, because who's his billion? That's Bobby Axelrod, right?
Bobby Axelrod.
I've never watched it, and Nook is always saying Bobby Axelrod shit in the group chat whenever referring to Steve Cohen. So I don't want to say yes for sure, maybe loosely or partially. I don't know. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I remember the name.
Yeah, man. Well,
so he just bought the Mets?
I mean, yeah, it's not finalized yet. Major League Baseball owners always have to approve sales of teams to new owners.
That's funny because in Billions, Bobby Axelrod was trying to buy a fucking a team, and in the show, they brought in Mark Cuban, and they did a scene together where they're basically talking about how it's just a small group of people, and you got to be let into that society. You can't just buy a team; like they got to accept.
Well, that's the reason. Well, you say that, and this might be a little bit off topic, but you know that's the reason why 45 is president. They did not. The NFL owners did not want to let him into that group because he was supposed to buy the Buffalo Bills.
Shit.
Yep, they didn't want to. They didn't let him buy it. You know, like,
That is definitely a
the,
special group. That it is a definitely. It's
you
a
have
select.
to. You have to earn your way
You
in.
have to be let in. You definitely have to be let into that group
Like,
of rich white men. And they did not. They looked down on Trump. They looked down on him, and they looked at him like the clown that he is, and they didn't want to let him in. He's like, okay, you won't let me in. I'll run for president. I'll show you. And here we are now.
yeah, that's true, man. When they were up for sale, they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him buy it, man. They sold it to Ralph Wilson.
That's the truth.
They sold it to Ralph Wilson instead, man. It's insane, man, and it's crazy. He also had a chance before Jerry Jones brought the Dallas Cowboys. Donald Trump had a chance to buy them for a little bit less and said no. And Jerry Jones bought them a year later or so. And the Dallas Cowboys are one of the most richest franchise and one of the single most valuable franchises, not just in American sports, not just in North American sports, and all of sports across the world. And I'm talking,
they're
up there with Manchester United,
Barcelona money.
Yeah, I'm talking Man U. I'm talking Real Madrid. I'm talking FC Barcelona. Who else am I talking here, man? We're talking these teams. We're talking the Yankees. We're talking the Lakers. Like, these are worldwide fucking global fucking brands. And the Cowboys are above them. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Dallas Cowboys, America's team had a chance.
I wish somebody would come in. I wish somebody would come in and buy the Knicks.
Man, James Dolan has a stranglehold, man. He owns Cablevision. He owns Madison Square Garden. He owns the Knicks. He owns the Rangers. He owns the Liberty. James Dolan ain't going anywhere. He had the power, and think about it like this. He had the power to keep the Jets off the West Side. NFL got so pissed at him, they said, yo, fuck you. We're taking everything from fucking Madison Square Garden. We're not having a draft here no more. We're not doing anything with you guys anymore. Fuck you guys. You know, they obviously moved it around, started shifting it. Started did Radio City for a few years.
Shit, I was working that draft.
Yeah. They had a couple drafts at Radio City. But the fact when they came here for the Super Bowl, did nothing at the Garden, did everything around the Garden, these nice hotels, these nice sites, did nothing at the Garden. But even still, James Dolan sold the city like, yo, listen, don't let them build that. I already have an arena. We already have a convention center. Obviously, I discussed my feelings on the fact of why I hate James Dolan. That convention center could have been my chance to finally go to E3. I honestly know you don't know what E3 is, but it's the big gaming expo that's in California every year at the LA Convention Center. And we don't have a convention center that big here anywhere in New York, so we could never have it. And that would have been there, all the like Final Four stuff. They could all the big shit they could have had there, extending the Javits Center. But he sold them on that. He was like, yeah, we can do something else there. And now, obviously, the city on that same site built the Hudson Yards. So I guess it was like I don't want to say a lose-lose, but
Javits not there no more.
Nah, Javits is there, but they would have built like an extension of Javits Center.
Mm-hmm.
But where that is now is where they built Hudson Yards, all that like the new shit where that weird like the honeycomb, the spirit, all that shit that people go take the picture of. That's Hudson Yards. That's where,
at the end of Highline, right? When you walk the
Highline, it's right on the west side, like far, like where you don't want to walk from 34th Street, right? You know, most people stop 34th Street, like right there at 8th Avenue. Some people go to 9th or 10th, like for B&J, but like further down, like 10th, 11th, like over where they built like a platform over the rail yards there and built on top of that.
Got it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I don't
my
think I've
reason
ever
for
been
hating
there.
James Dolan. But no one's ever, unfortunately, as New Yorkers, we're gonna have to deal with James Dolan as an owner of the Knicks forever. Hopefully, you know, I mean, maybe someone will make a big money deal, but I think James Dolan. Here's the thing: the Knicks still raking money, and they've put this terrible of a product on the court for this long. And it's just when you're in New York, you want to go to a Knicks game. You want to go to the Mecca of basketball. You want to go see, MSG. So you always have that tourist haven. Even with, the Nets opening up and, Brooklyn becoming a new hip thing around the world, even still, it hasn't cut into the Nets that bad. I mean, the Knicks that bad. So as long as Dolan still has that stranglehold on all that, unfortunately, I think we'll have to deal with him as a goddamn owner.
I feel like that whole Mecca sports thing, that is true, but it's really not anymore. Like I don't think we should call it that anymore. Like it's become the place where basketball goes to die.
At least basketball careers. At least basketball
No,
careers.
basketball hope.
I mean, I think it's cool that the Big East kept the name there, even though the league broke up. If you ever watched that 30 for 30 way, they kept the league all together and everything, and it's still there at that site. It's things like that, man. Obviously, you're always gonna remember the things that did happen there. So I think it's more of that for people than obviously what it stands for now, because obviously it's the Knicks right now, and I mean the goddamn Rangers. So that whole thing.
Is the bubble one place?
The bubble, yeah, it's down in Florida. I think they have a couple different arenas over there. Like it's like the Disney Wide World of Sports complex. So I know there's a couple of
So they did what the WWE did and just have like a performance center that everybody has to go to.
Yeah, like and then WWE, like when they did the Thunderdome, they were like they rented an arena in Orlando. I think it's the Amway Center, and they've been doing it all there. But even baseball, start the playoffs, they're going to be in a bubble environment. It's going to be in Texas, a couple of stadiums around there, the new Ranger Stadium, a couple other places, just so that you don't have to worry about teams possibly now. Even though it hasn't happened as bad as it was early in the season, baseball's figured it out. The infections stopped around baseball as bad as they'd gotten. But they hadn't figured it out. So now they have, but they figured, best to, get everyone into a bubble instead of having a team
COVID
get sick
shit
during the playoffs.
fucked everything up, bro.
Fucked a lot of shit up, man. Yo, you won this week in fantasy or you lost?
I won in fantasy football in both my leagues.
So you're 2-0 in our league too?
Huh?
You're 2-0 in our league too then?
Yeah, no, I lost last week in our league, so I'm winning.
You beat Fred last
week.
week.
I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0 in our league, and I'm 1-1 in the other league.
Yeah, you beat Fred last week because you had the inactives. You barely beat him.
Pitiful performance by Fred.
Man, a pitiful performance that you only won by 20 points where you had 2 inactives off. So you better be happy you got that one because you beat 1-1.
Hey, listen.
Hey, but here's what's more important. Yo,
I could live with losing. Okay, I could live with losing. Okay, if the points aren't there, the points are not there. Okay, I can't do nothing about that. All right, that I could live with. If the points aren't there for me to win, it wasn't meant to be, and I can't win. But when you fail to set your lineup, that is like a fireable offense. If this was like a real league run by people, it's fireable. All right, you should be fucking out on your ass. You shouldn't be managing any kind of football team, fantasy or otherwise.
All right then, mate.
So is this a tournament bracket system?
Nah, it's a season, and then it's broken into divisions. It randomizes the schedule, and you play like you're in divisions. You play your division opponents a certain amount of times.
So the last 2 competitors in every league will compete in the Super Bowl game. Like you're basically tracking those.
It's all regular season. So playoffs and fantasy football goes week 1 through week 13. And then the last 4 weeks of the NFL season are fantasy football playoffs. And is it the last 4 weeks or the last 3 weeks?
Last 3.
Last 3, because week 17 is usually garbage time. So last 3 weeks. And that's how it goes. But this week it's me and you, bro. We're both 2-0. Somebody's got to lose. I just want to say, we here at I don't feel it's totally PC even still for me to say my team's name. So we here at the Elevator Company. We feel confident going into this week's game. I want to throw that out there. My team hasn't let me down, aside from New England this week. I expected them to give up points. I didn't expect Russell Wilson to go that crazy all over that defense, man. And I didn't expect Josh Jacobs to, make me sweat it out like that. Or Leonard Fournette to find the groove like that. So this is the second week I've left big points on the bench. I told you when I was tired and it was late in that game, I wasn't watching it. I was like, I finally tired. Even if I, go into here, I'm going to win on bench points. And I told you the worst thing I would have right now is a fucking fumble or something from him because then I lose. So, that didn't happen. He got me a few more yards and I won that game. So we're here at the Elevator Company sitting pretty at 2-0. And we feel pretty confident this year. I've never been 2-0 in this fantasy football league.
Hey, Alex.
Yo.
Do you know what Alonzo's team name is?
I was about to ask him what the hell's the Elevator Company, because what is it?
My team's name is Ray Rice's Elevator Company.
Yeah, thank God we don't have sponsors yet.
It's fantasy football. It's fantasy football, bro. Like you're supposed to, it's be. Tell him what your fantasy football team was named that year.
What?
That first year. Because mine's has stayed the same.
Well, I don't remember what mine was.
Hanging with Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, I swear to God. Huh? I was about to say some shit about Aaron Hernandez.
Yours was hanging with Mr. Hernandez that year.
Oh, hang with Mr. Hernandez, yeah.
It's fantasy football, bro. Like, you're going to have fucking crazy
These are fucking names you'll see, like, on NFL Blitz.
One year, I had a team name called the Bromosexuals.
Yeah, so it's fantasy football, man. It's guys, friends.
The best part about fantasy football is naming your team. This year, naming your team and coming up with a team picture. This year, I decided to go with the in one league. My team is the Polk High All Stars, and I have a picture of Al Bundy.
4 touchdowns in one game.
And then my other team is because I hate all those fuckers, and they're not my friends. I call them my team's name is Friends of Ricky Spanish. And so it's a picture of Ricky Spanish. Ricky Spanish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's American Dad. I don't know if you get that one. I love that shit. Seth MacFarlane shit. But yeah, man. We play each other this week. I think it's gonna be fun. I feel like I've beaten you twice. You've beaten me once in this league. We use because we're in different divisions. We only play each other once every year, man. So I look forward to the matchup.
Oh shit, yo! Not to cut you off. I just got a little update right now, and it just said that today, in Kentucky, they this afternoon they're gonna announce that they're gonna charge the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
So if they're announcing they're gonna charge them, why are they afraid and blocking off the city?
They're gonna announce if they're gonna charge them.
Oh, if they're gonna. Oh, so if they're blocking it off, then they probably don't know yet, and they're leaning towards not charging them because they're setting up barricades. They declared a state of emergency a couple days ago. Yeah. So we're gonna bring that up after this, man. Yo, I want to thank you for coming on with me, bro. Doing Zoe Knows with us here. Fantasy football this week, me and you. Right now, while we have the people on, we want to make a bet. You want to put 10 on it? Want to put something on it? Huh? You making a bet? You want to make a bet with the new commish?
That doesn't sound right, man.
Huh? Want to make a bet? Huh? Want to make a bet? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh, buddy? Want to make a bet? Huh?
Maybe we'll talk later. When I wake up fully and I can come up with something. I'll make a bet with you before the game start on Thursday.
Yo, you got less than 24 hours, bro. And remember, all bets are monitored by the league, so I have to let the league know that we made a side bet, so everyone knows, man. Yo, and actually, man, I think I might see if anyone wants to do the highest scorer, man. I've been like the second highest scorer both weeks, man. So I'm thinking I might give that a shot, man. I know it's only a matter of time before Mahomes goes off, so I'm feeling it. I'm gonna do that.
We'll see there, mate.
All right, we'll see this, Skipper, right, buddy?
Whatever sport.
All right, there, pal.
Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later, Tiger.
Later.
All right, have a good day, sport.
Oh shit.
All right, GSF, we do the fuck, you heard?
We do the fucking, you heard? Later, man. Love you.
All right, love y'all. I'm out.
Later,
Peace.
bro.
So, yes, that was just Zoe Knows with my older brother, Lorenzo. There was a bit of friction early on trying to figure out how he gets in. I don't know how to do. I have to look at it from the phone next time. I'm gonna join from
Bro,
the
it's
phone.
literally it was you press join meeting and it joins.
Nah, but he's saying sometimes like
I
that
was
shit
doing this
says
shit
that.
yesterday.
So I just have to see how it does it from the phone for next time, so I could just tell people how to do it without that popping up. Because like I think even a few people said that like last time. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, that guess we're leaning towards what this the media real world segment. Where we taking this? The Breonna Taylor shit, right? They said they're supposed to announce whether or not if they're charging the cops with her murder.
So the simple fact that they're preparing for civil unrest, which is what it looks like, then maybe they have some intel that people are just. He said it was happening today, right? Later today. So by tonight, we'll know exactly what the fuck is going on.
And also, I mean,
see
but the thing that's
people hitting the streets again.
The thing that's been in this this country when this has happened recently, these last few times, has been when this happens. That's not just these cities; other cities follow suit. So I believe that if it is announced, you'll see people take to the streets in major cities across this nation, man. And then everything going on, man. I mean, it's a scary outlook, man.
So they essentially they gave the family what, 15 million?
Something around there.
About $15 million before they even laid out a fucking sentence for the people who caused the I mean, that's bullshit. This is a girl that's sleeping, right?
Yeah.
She was sleeping at home?
Yep.
How the fuck does this happen, bro?
I mean, the fact that just the fact that they're already preparing for civil unrest should tell you all you need to know. If you do charge the cops, people aren't going to take to the streets. And you should, I mean, it should be that it's taking this long. It's taking this long, man. Only one cop got fired for that. They said she was still breathing for a few minutes after the fact, and then no one performed. Didn't call it EMT till after.
You don't think Blue Lives Matter people will hit the streets if the cops get locked up?
I mean, there's not. While there are Blue Lives Matter people aren't the type of people that they're worried about taking to the street. The Blue Lives Matter people, they're gonna march peacefully. They're not gonna bust up windows. They're not gonna destroy shit. You know, That's not to disparage anyone doing that. Even though I don't condone it. That's not saying I condone Blue Lives Matter. Because I mean, like I said, you don't. When people say Blue Lives Matter, no one underneath says All Lives Matter. When people say All Lives Matter, people underneath don't say Blue Lives Matter. You only see those two come up when anyone says Black or Brown Lives Matter. Realist, the only time you see it. You don't even see Blue Lives Matter come up or All Lives Matter come up when people want to be dicks and be like White Lives Matter. No one
It's
like
just they're all such loaded phrases.
They are. And they only, and the fact that they only, if no one ever said Black Lives Matter, neither of those two things would ever come about, man. And people can't accept that fact or the fact that they're buying into the okie doke. And people that like, there's some people that think that Christians, good Christians, I see saying, oh, why can't we all just love each other, one another? If you as a Christian or you claim to be a Christian don't get the whole picture going on in the world, then it's clear you only see one side of the Bible, and you're probably a person that believes Jesus is white.
And that shit's been like debunked so many times. Like,
Jesus ain't white, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. If you believe in a white Jesus, that's cool. But you can clearly tell
America.
if you read the Bible from where Jesus was, ain't too many white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed motherfuckers from that region. I'm sorry. Ain't too many Caucasians from that fucking region. Most people from that region have some form of, melanated fucking skin.
absolutely.
Some fucking form. I'm sorry. Deal with it. Deal with it. One of the things I love about I told you my favorite Stone song is Sympathy for the Devil is my favorite Stone song. And one of the lines he says, they say in that shit is I watched for 10 decades as your queens and kings fought for the gods they made. And be like, yo, like I heard, like when I read about the song when it came out, how people called them devil worshippers and shit. It's like I get how people wouldn't. But the first time I heard him, like, wow, like I'm listening to the lines and this shit. And it's like when he's like, I shouted out, who killed the Kennedys when after all it was you and me. Like when he's talking about the revolution, World War I revolution when they killed the Tsar of Russia and his family.
You ever seen those stores that sell nothing but religious artifacts? I think they got one right there on Wilson,
it's
right?
like Wilson and like fucking Willoughby or something.
I always wondered
Bibliotecas.
how places like that stayed open. And I've never really been in one, but I've peeked inside of that one that's over there. And just the misrepresentation on the actual artifacts that are being sold to people is just, it's the business of belief. It's all subjective to who you talk to. So a lot of religions even teach the same thing. It's just from different parts of the world in a different language. And if you don't look like the person that looks like that over there, then you'll automatically be like, oh, he don't believe in what the fuck I believe in. But a lot of the text is the same thing. It's the same principles.
Same simple principles, bro. It's the same book, like just spoken different ways, bro. And I mean, like I say, man, that's why. I mean, I think after you, like I told people growing up, J-Dubs, why it's hard for me to believe in any organized religion. I've never believed in organized religion ever again as long as I live.
Because it's a company.
It is.
It's a company.
And all of them, like, and who's to say who's right? How many Bibles are around? If there's one God, shouldn't there be one Bible? Like,
if you're in the business of faith, then the faith that you preach has to be relatable to the lifestyle that you live. So a lot of religions, they rewrite the Bible. Like the other day, I was having a biblical discussion, and somebody was using the King James version of the Bible and looking at my old Jehovah's Witness Bible. It's not the same thing that's written. It's just
your boy, our boy Juan Tejada, he had put us on there a long time ago with the J-Dub shit. That's why it's called, like, it's not called, it's like, that's why it has that long, the New World Transliteration, holy, like, that's why
the New World Translation.
Not transliteration, he said, not translation. So, because it's
transliteration?
Yeah, because it's a different way of saying, like, because you could change words.
Now I gotta go home and check.
He has said that.
I always thought it was translation.
Me too. Yeah, it's like those things. Your eyes will look past it real fast.
We literally had this fucking Bible in our houses our entire lives. And
there's still one. I'm not gonna lie. There's still one on a bookshelf in my house. Like I don't even know what it made it catch my eye the other day, bro. But I'm like, nigga, that's a J-Dub Bible. I hate to admit it. I still have the one because my grandmother got it, and you know the engraved ones, the red.
That's the one that I have
with the gold. I still have the one my grandmother got me engraved. Like, I would never do anything to that. That's something that was sacred to her. It meant something to her. I held on to that. I've never, I'm not going to say I've never opened it. I only opened it in meetings. I've never read it, like, completely, except in meetings where they tell me, here, read this. But other than that, bro, like.
What's genius about the organizational aspect of religion, especially like Jehovah's Witnesses, they want everyone to read the Bible, right? But they want you to read the Bible with literature that they wrote. And they're going to give you their explanations of, and they break it down so crazy that it's like, it'll be like, go to Exodus chapter 2, verse 3, part A. And then they choose like 4 words out of that shit. And then they'll write 2 pages on those 4 words as to what it means. And when you go doing street work or house to house and you're knocking on people's doors and you have this one little lesson, go to Exodus, this part A, and this is what it means. Like, you're not really understanding what the hell you're reading. You don't know what the hell you're reading.
It's your brother. When your brother did his,
my brother was on a rampage.
When he just did he showed me the contradiction. Like, yo, I never read the Bible, so if you point out something to me, I'm gonna believe it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like this and that, and then you tell him to do this, why he's telling him to do that? Come on, like, which way you want it? Like,
when it got to the point that my brother was challenging elders, and they came to my mom's house, everybody had a nice discussion trying to debunk each other's ideas and shit. And the questions that my brother was putting forth, like, they had 0 answers for them shits, bro.
That's the thing, man.
And it's, you don't read the Bible. You read texts, and then you read literature.
I 100%, I honestly don't know what it came down to with my dad leaving all the way completely. But I know that he had a few meetings with elders where they bumped heads on shit. And I know it came down to lifestyle, like, and you coming to me at this. And my dad told me, like, yo, like, some of the people who sold money, like, the shit they was doing before they got caught, like, I never did any of that shit. I wasn't down with it. Like, I like for cursing, like, drinking, having some fun. Like, but the shit they, like, my dad told me they was doing was, like, it's fucking wild. And then they were always the first ones to rat niggas out. Just so
because they want to deflect all of that attention away from themselves.
My dad told me that it used to be like that when he was in that shit. So, like, the shit that you used to, like, you tell me that happened with you, like, it's not a shocker. It's not a shocker at all, bro, with any of that shit, bro. And, I mean, that's kind of sad. it's kind of sad to think of like that. That this has been a generational aspect sort of thing, man. Because you think it's been generations of the same people in it, same generations. Dads and uncles was elders. So when you younger, you supposed to move up that ladder. You look into it to become an elder. You know, other people. How many people that are still in it that were you in it whose dad was elders, uncles? You told me people who are moving towards elders and shit. You told me who's an elder now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't drop names, nigga, but you told me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like that's fucking shocking. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta fall in line, bro. You like some people can't break toe. Like to see people that did break toe and didn't, didn't go completely off the reins and so they can live a normal life.
But that's the fear campaign aspect of what they do, because they'll essentially, all right, you decide you want to get up and leave. If your life goes to shit, now you are a prime example of what happens when you leave. And they're fear mongers, bro. It's like, oh, and they will always drop names of people. Like, you want to end up like this guy? You want to end up, and they'll do that shit on stage,
stories,
bro.
Man.
It's like, yo, that shit, you're basically publicly flaming somebody right now in front of everyone just to keep everyone else in line. You want to end up like this dude? You know, he smokes crack, and he don't even smoke crack. Somebody saw him smoke a cigarette one day and said he must be smoking crack. So it's like, it's a fucking snowball effect, bro.
If any of these people ever bumped into me coming out after smoking a bong, bro, shit. But I haven't seen anyone like from when we were in our congregation in so long, man. Like, or even people that maybe knew my grandmother, I haven't seen in so long. Last person I saw, I was doing real estate, and it was her best friend. Mary Payne, and I saw her by her house, just showing a place like a couple blocks over. Not a couple blocks over, but a couple doors over, and she was outside. I spoke to her for a while.
I see people more at funerals than anything else.
I haven't been to a J-Dub funeral.
They come to my funerals.
Yeah.
So
support your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom.
But then they're always, they have this way of, because technically, you're not supposed to talk to me. You're not supposed to interact with me. It's written in the book. I'm a disfellowshipped Jehovah's Witness. It's illegal to talk to me. But they'll be still
forbidden.
Yeah,
it's forbidden.
They still try to, like, you know, put their hand under their arm, be like, yo, what's good? Give me some dap real quick. Like, haven't seen you in mad long, bro. And then they'll give me a sympathetic hug. Like, I remember my dad was laid out, and I'm standing in front of the casket, and I saw a bunch of people coming in. And these are people that I would see in the street all the time. Some of them live a couple blocks from here, bro. Right there. See them all the time. Never look at me. But then, now we're at a funeral, and you feel bad. And you want to not just be, because my mom wasn't at my dad's funeral. So now you're just doing it for my sister. Now you're doing it because Nancy's there. And you want to show peace. There's a million ways to show peace, bro. You don't have to show up to a funeral and give me a fake hug. How about just nodding at me when I nod at you in the street? You don't got to give me dap. You don't got to give me a hug, bro, a kiss on the cheek. Just let's acknowledge each other.
There's a lot of people I went to elementary school with that I don't really talk to like that, but that I remember still. I see in the hood, see on the block sometimes, see the walk on the right, but still remember who they just.
Given that's a courtesy.
Yeah, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, how you been? Cool.
I see you. That's what you're saying. I see you.
How you see me?
What's good?
Like it's like, yo, like I told you, bro. Like when I have the suit, tie, everything on, man, I'm on my way to work. When people I don't know hit me with the, how you doing, brother? Like feel like oh shit, am I finally an upstanding member of society? Oh shit, like out of nowhere.
James Bond.
Like, it just hit you with the, how you doing, brother? Like,
but when you don't even do that, and then you basically use Christianity as the bullets of your gun, because you only read half of what it said and then all of what they told you. And you read half of what it said and all of what they told you. Because that little text that they told you to read, they wrote 2 pages in the Watchtower magazine about that shit.
And how many people wrote that 2 pages? Do they even put names on these articles in the Watchtower? They just in the Watchtower. Like, they're making you think.
You don't. It's not a me thing. It's a
we thing.
It's a we thing. And they tell you, like, one of the things that I was prepped for, which is crazy, that they was actually prepping me for this shit was to become a Bethelite. And to become a Bethelite, you gotta take a vow of poverty.
A vow of poverty.
A vow of poverty.
The fuck is that? I mean, you're supposed to just go poor for the church?
So essentially, they sold the properties in Brooklyn Heights, but when they had the properties, there was multiple buildings that were connected. I've said this before with the underground tunnels. Half of those buildings were residential and half were commercial.
Yeah.
So they give you a place to live. You eat at the cafeteria. Your food is free and all that shit. I think they give you like $100 a month just for like spending money or whatever you want. But outside of that, you're there. You work for them. So you work all day for free. You got to chill with the people inside that work with you and live with you. You got to go to the Kingdom Hall that they assign you to. You got to do all the assignments. So they'll pay for your life. They'll make sure you got a little couple of clothes and shit. But that's it. You work for them.
You know, I went one time when we were in the J-Dubs. We went to Bethel one time. There was somebody in the congregation who was a Bethelite, and we went down there to chill. I remember watching TV, and it was like winter. I can't remember what came on. I was like, yo, why you turn from that? And it was like, you're not supposed to watch that. That's the world. It's like Frosty the Snowman or some shit. I was like, oh, man, like, you kidding me? It's fucking
March
Frosty.
of the Wooden Soldiers.
Just, come on, man. Like, the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Like,
I used to go to Bethel because my congregation was filled with Bethelites. Like for some reason, Woodbine Spanish got really big at one point before they split it up into like 3 different congregations. So we had at least 8, 10 Bethelites there. And they would be the kind of be like, they tried to get the youth together for basketball games. And then you'd be like, all right, so what are we playing? Like, oh, 2-hand touch. It's like, no, we're in a field. We're going to play tackle. We're not supposed to play tackle. It's like, all right, 2-hand touch. After the game, we go upstairs, start watching a DVD. This is when DVDs first came out. And we was watching Gone in 60 Seconds.
Ah.
There was one part where, like, Angelina Jolie, she gets on top of him in the car.
On the when she gets on the gear shift.
It's like you just see that one cold sweat going down this Bethelite's head. He's just looking around to see if anybody's going to say anything because he thought he was about to get in trouble for putting that shit on. I'm like, bro, everybody needs to fucking relax, bro. Isn't that shit's not even fucking rated R, is it?
It's PG-13.
It's a PG-13 movie.
PG-13 movie. Sit down and chill the fuck out, man.
It's like
I feel for people, man, like that grew up in it, that are still in, like, even like
petrified.
I don't want to say religion because I know people that grew up religious that, you know, have spiritual faith, have faith in, you know, the Lord that they know, and they are nothing like J-Dubs. They're warm, welcoming people. They don't, you know, hammer you with religion. They sometimes, if they know you're in a tight spot, say maybe, you know, but they don't try to force it on you.
But there's a big differentiator that I see between people. You have the class of people who really fear God and love God and want to get closer to God. And then you have people that are addicted to the organization. The organizational aspect makes people that work regular shitty jobs high-ranking officials in the church, and they start becoming drunk with that power. They start abusing that power, bro. And I've seen that shit happen millions of times already, bro. you know, like you see this shit, bro.
Stories. I've heard them.
So you talking about people that make minimum wage at work, and then when they get out, they're this high-profile Jehovah's Witness that everybody wants to be around. And once you take them away from that situation, they can't survive on
that's why
in the real world.
You know, this is a bit of a segue. Remember, this is those times like when I told you when I wanted to like slap the guy behind the counters at the GameStops. It's like, bro, like, do you see me? Like, if I want to right now, I can just reach over this thing and slap you clear across your fucking face. One time, and I didn't have to fully extend my arm. Like, you're gonna extend me some courtesy, and you're gonna talk to me like a paying customer. Like, but like that's the thing. Like, people like they get in these environments and they forget. Like, hey, listen. Like, hey, shit could change real fast. Real, like, snap of a finger, bro. Like, I've seen it too many times. I've told people too many times, too many nights at work where shit is going good, shit is going smooth, and then out of nowhere, we got incident here, incident there, and bang, 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 back to back to back. Like, we settled on this incident, and our radio go off. We got to fight here, we got to need security here. So some people got to stay here, deal with that. Then we got to go deal with this situation while they still dealing with that. And then we get another call on our radio, and then some people got finished dealing with this while we got to go deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And I've seen you
you've seen
in those situations.
In those situations where we dealing with this and we tossing somebody out, and I'm like, wait, what? Like you seen it at night where we threw somebody out, and I'm the guy who went like, yo, like y'all all up here, nobody's been inside in fucking minutes, like a good 20, 25 minutes. Let me go check, do a quick perimeter, do a quick, floor sweep. I didn't even get to start my floor sweep. The second I'm walking in, I see a dude going behind the bar and our kitchen manager jumping over the bar to try to like stop him. And as was the guy you saw me and Lorenzo throw out the door.
You didn't just throw him out of the door.
He was off his feet. Like we
you
literally threw him out the door.
You guys tossed him out of there like Uncle Phil did Jazzy Jeff every episode. It's like, and he even did the noise. Ah!
He went through the door and landed on his ass.
It's like, oh my God.
Like we tossed I remember one night, man. This is totally unrelated, but tossing somebody out. It was snowing one night, and dudes disrespected like my pops, and he was inside. I was at the door, and then like I saw my dad. He was trying to get them out, and like the floor's a little slippery. And one of them pushed him and made him slip. And I saw my dad fall. Yo, I saw a rat. I grabbed this nigga, I dragged him, and I threw him like straight out. Saw the doors was wet. He went boom, landed on his ass. I grabbed his boy. I'm dragging. He's like, yo, get on me. I threw his nigga's boy trying to get up, slammed them. They both ended up on their ass, and then the cops come right up the escalator.
Shit, bro. Before we continue with the show, I think you should remind people about 30 Days to Rock Fall 2020.
Yes, we of course, man. You guys all know that we're here right now, live on 30 Days to Rock.us here. Where we do this thing, man, right now, and of course, we just want to let everyone know that 30 Days to Rock Part 2. Fall 2020 starting yesterday, going through to December 22nd, man. It's going to be going, soon, Danny. We're going to get the shows up. You're going to see some dope shit. It's going to be all on a ticketed platform, right? There'll be more information on that for you guys. And it's the same deal, man. We're trying to raise funds, man. The first one's the show we could do so we can get more people out. We're trying to generate revenue, man, for the small businesses, the people hurt the most by this pandemic. A place like First Live, people like the people in the arts community that, they don't just play music. This is their life. These arts things are their life. And a lot of their avenues of living their life and getting that money through their life has been cut off through this pandemic, with mainly with a lot of places being closed, no crowds being allowed. And it's not just venues hurting, man. It's people. It's everyone hurting across the board, man. And like I said multiple times discussing this, when you think of small business, I think a lot of people just think of shops and shit, man. And I think, like I said, the lifeline of small business and communities are bars, restaurants, venues like this, little coffee houses, places that are open more frequently than you realize. And while they may not, have people, foot traffic going, they're far more involved in your community than you realize. So I think people, obviously check us out. We'll have far more information for, 30 Days to Rock Fall 2020. But just to let you guys know, we are back into 30 Days to Rock again because it's September 23rd and we started September 22nd. So all information will be available on the First Live Instagram page. That's First Live US, right? First Live Us. And at First Live Us. And you can also get everything, any other information you would like or you will need at 30days2rock.us. So, yeah.
And we also got to take a moment to shout out Save Our Stages. I believe it's saveourstages.com.
Yes, sir.
And this just has a really complex list of venues that have been affected by this and ways that you can help save these places from closing down. So, of course, saveourstages.com, and just show some support for these amazing venues that we hope we don't lose at the end of all this shit.
At the end of all this shit, everything, man, once for everything. I can't wait, like some of these places, man, like the reopenings, man. I hope to make it like for when it's like crowds could be out, whatever they want to say, vaccine I'm doing. Or I ain't taking no fucking vaccine that early.
I'm not taking no
you
fucking
kiss my
vaccine.
black ass. I'm sorry, man. I'd say something way worse, but I don't want to, get flagged by a potential sponsor down the line. So I'm just gonna stay on you kiss my black ass. But this shit is when these venues reopen, man, these first shows, man, when you get these crowds in there, man, these bands that are gonna fucking these groups that are just gonna have the energy, like the crowd's gonna be ready to fucking go. These are gonna be epic performances, man. And even if you can't, man, and this is why bands need to fucking we need to cut this clip here. This is why bands need to fucking listen to what's going on here. Cause if you could get back there on this stage and pump out what you do to the world, give your best shit. You just got to see like the shows that were put on back there, man. Now get your crew together. do what you do. Realize that this man, hey, put yourself on camera, Danny. That this man, Danny Garcia, of First Live,
I'm not Danny.
of First Live Studio, is a fucking genius at what he does, man.
There he is.
And
that's the guy
if you
right
have
there.
a bigger stage and need a bigger group, he could come there and do what he does with a fucking skeleton crew and put together something that you would see on the fucking VMAs, bro. Danny could do that.
Absolutely.
But you gotta go get all the information at 30 days to rock.us, man. And somebody with one of these stages, man, just a bare bones crew, and allow somebody on stage to fucking rock. If they were allowed to have these performances and Bad Bunny, I didn't even see it, but I saw the whole shit with the flatbed truck they're talking about riding through the city with a concert. Yo, man, fuck that, man. They want to do that. That's a big star. Of course people going to do that. But how about bringing maybe a local star to your venue? Don't have a live crowd, but live stream it. And ticket that motherfucker like you would ticket at your door.
These are facts.
I'm just saying.
These are facts. The technology's there. The crew is here.
You just have to
take initiative.
You have to want it. Initiative. That's the biggest thing. Initiative. Initiative's the biggest word.
Take initiative.
Take the initiative, man.
Because everybody wants, you know, it's not even like success anymore. People they'll settle for clout. They'll settle for clout. We was talking about this the other week. Now you got to put together presentations that's worthy of what you charge people. Now it's not playing shithole bars anymore and expecting, you know, to bring out 15 paid, 20 paid, and then when the person at the door tells you got 5 people paid and you're all pissed off, you just didn't do the work. And maybe people don't want to show up to a shithole bar. Maybe people could be at home on their big screen TV and be able to fucking watch this shit in full 4K HD.
Or
surround sound system.
Have these abilities.
It's like all this shit is here, bro. Like I keep remembering the show that we played in the back. Like that shit was crazy.
That was, bro. Like it was nuts.
That was an experience.
It was, man. And I told you it was rough for me just because my style of work is I need crowd reactions to know where I'm going. But for you, like you killed it. Like you played all originals, man, and like. You know, people have been like, you know, it's big because they're dominating like with this versus shit. But it's like, yo, like you guys tune in for this. Tune in for your homies out here still trying to survive, man. Putting out good artwork, man. Like the shit people and they feel proud to do, pay, and I've done during Instagram, during this shit, but like won't support their like homies' work, man.
So let me ask you a question. We know a lot of people that have been trying to do music or put out art for many, many years. A lot of them are not good. Is it our responsibility to tell them that?
I don't think it's our responsibility to tell them it's not good. I think it's our responsibility to tell them to keep improving, keep going for it. And to know those ways to not tell someone it's not good. Because we wouldn't want to be told we're not good. I think we're our own harshest critic, which is good for us. But there's a lot of people who sugarcoat what they do and they think, all right, and can't accept that, you know, maybe it wasn't that good. I say, you know, I was.
Remember when we first started this, that we were standing right over there, and that dude came in with a cell phone and he started showing us that he was a hip hop artist.
Oh God! Oh man! I the second you said who that was, I remember, man. And he said you like, got to, and he showed the video right there on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he was talking about how he got into a fight with the dude during the video shoot.
Word, like that was a real fight. They recording this shit. Like it was,
like yo.
But you know what it is though. He had the initiative to go do that and try it.
Oh, he had the initiative. He probably will record a hit at one point in his life. It's not beyond anyone's grasp.
That one wasn't good.
That one was not it.
And you know what kills me even more? There's people that put out that think they're great, and we know people who have dope shit who don't put it out. I think that bothers me more, that we know people with dope shit or who sit on dope shit or decent shit waiting to just craft it, get it perfect instead of do the Kanye West, man. Like I say, how many times did Kanye West drop Homecoming before that final version with Chris Martin on Graduation was it? Like I have like I said, on my iPod I have like 3-4 versions of that fucker.
There's so many stories of Ye mixing and mastering over and over and over and over, like on different speakers and different settings. He wants it to sound perfect everywhere. Like, so I guess in that sense, if you're that obsessive about your shit, then maybe it's a good thing to just keep it shelved until it's ready. But if you're gonna shelve it for your entire life and then complain that you never made it as an artist,
like, nah, man,
you never tried to be one.
Never tried it. You never put it out there, man.
Like it's not. it's scary to be able to put your shit out there and have the world critique it and shit like that. But at the same time, that's the business.
It's like you know what I guessed last week, Kristen. With her paintings, I told you, like I saw it, and I was like, I like those. The only reason they're not up in my room yet, and I obviously have to put them up, and I have to, showcase them. Is that last time I tried to hang something in my room, I tried to use like Gorilla tape, like strung on both sides, and it still didn't hold. So I actually eventually I just have to figure out like how to get it, because like my girlfriend got me, like I told you, she got me to autograph the script from Backdraft for Christmas last year, and I hung that up, and that shit was too heavy. Like I have to get a lighter box or like a.
Everybody autographed it.
Huh? Everybody in the cast autographed it. Like and she had it. Like she got a copy of that. Kurt Russell, fucking Billy Baldwin, Donald Sutherland. Everybody in that shit. Like it's everybody. Like
did you ever go on the ride
at Six Flags?
No,
not at Six Flags. Universal. Yes, I did it once when we went down there.
I went on that shit one time.
Like the fire, you could feel the fucking
that
fire.
Shit was hot.
Yo, when we were in Universal this time, I was so sad when I found out they closed it when I was out there in February. That was like the one thing I was like, I want to do the Backdraft ride. I want to do the Backdraft ride again. I was so excited, and it's like, nah, the Backdraft ride's closed. I was like, damn.
I went on that shit when Usher Confessions came out.
Damn, that's around the time I think I was on it too. Like, and think about how long that ride had been there, bro. Like that movie been out since like '93.
I think because this is again another Jehovah's Witness trip. A lot of the traveling that I did when I was young, I did with everybody. So they rented a big ass house. I think it was in Anaheim, and we could see like the lights and shit.
Oh, you did? We went to Disneyland. I was at Disney World in Florida. I did that Backdraft ride. You did the Disneyland Backdraft ride. Yeah, you were in California.
So out there, it was just like, yo, when we went into the space with all the rides and shit, I was like, holy shit, bro. Like the amount of fucking money that this place must generate on a daily basis. On top of everything, you got movies, you got a network that all support every single brand that is featured in this mega park.
Yo, you want to know what's crazy, though? You want to know what's Universal's, out of that entire catalog, the biggest generator year after year?
What?
Wicked on Broadway. Out of everything they own in their catalog, Wicked on Broadway is their biggest fucking money earner in their catalog year after year after year after year.
Not this year.
Since it's been, well, not this year. Obviously, don't be a dick.
You know, that's kind
of a hurtful joke to me on that one, man. you know how much that hurts me, man. Being out there, that's my community, man. That kind of hurt me. You cut me real deep on that one.
But are the theme parks open?
Some of them, I believe. Universal's reopened, Disney World's reopened. I don't know about in California. I know in Florida. But they're only like 33% capacity, and I bet you there still be long ass fucking lines for rides.
Who was it that I went to? I think one of the last parks I went to was Dorney Park.
I haven't been to an amusement park since I went to Six Flags.
And this shit had to be. This shit had to be fucking.
Actually, I'm lying. I was in Universal Studios before I went to Universal Studios this summer.
I went with this dude that I used to know. It was a few of us. I think Christian came too. Cheese might have been there, and he. Basically, as soon as we walked in, he went to the customer service and he told them that he had this disease. He told me the name, I forgot it, where he can't stand in the sun for too long. And they gave all of us bracelets. Free. It's like, I don't know how he did it.
The speed pass. Because if someone tells you they have a disability, you can't question them, ask them for proof of it. Just have to.
I was like, holy shit.
If it's not true and you do that, kind of dick move.
It was a dick move, but, we were strapped on time. And we ended up, like, literally walking to the front of every roller coaster. Then you just hear the people on the line popping shit. Everybody was pissed off. Because people there, like, the lines were fucking long, bro. It was like, so just being able to do that shit.
Like, I wanted to leave on a high note. It's kind of fucked up. I like, when we went to Universal, I just brought the speed. Like, we paid, like, I had a connection over there because my theater manager's cousin, she's one of their security like managers at the park, so she like hooked it up for us, and she had hooked up enough shit, so I paid full price for the speed pass all day. So we just like we had that shit, and we just walked right to the front. We had a little like a little wristband, like a ticket. And we just showed them
VIP
that,
shit.
right, like walk right to the front. Like it was like they had separate lines, like you have express, and they also have via groups or single riders. So if you by yourself, like say me and you go, but we want to say we single riders, we get on single rider line, but we just can't get in the car together. We have to go to the single spot. It'll be a shorter line, and if there's a bunch of kids, like groups of 4 want to ride together, 5 want to ride together. So like it's not bad, man. But
You know, they got them things in the water parks now that it's like a chemical in the water that if you piss, the whole shit turns blue.
yeah.
It's like, bro, I just saw blue spots everywhere I looked. It's like you can't leave these kids in there alone, man. Like
Hey,
it's
man,
a
yo,
fucking
man.
water park.
Who didn't pee in the pool though, man? Like people, come everybody peed in the pool.
Yeah,
Man.
but
Everybody pees when they're in the fucking
Not
lake.
if you get
Everybody-
outed by blue ink.
Well, now that they got the fucking octopus jump offs. That's kind of
That
cold.
shit is crazy.
But who didn't pee when they went to the pool, man?
One thing that I wanted to talk to you about, we still got some time.
Yeah.
I saw a video again. Shout out Gina Guns. Like she's just posting all of this shit, and it keeps popping up on my timeline. AOC put out a video where she was saying that, in a nutshell, that you don't need to like Biden to vote Democrat. That the reason why you should vote Democrat anyways is to get Trump out. What do you think about that ideology?
I think that's admitting Biden's a flawed candidate, which does a bit of harm, more harm than good. I think that it's in the right place. I thought I saw people share the video. I didn't watch it. You know my feelings on AOC. I'm not the biggest fan of hers.
It was just a small clip that Gina posted.
I get that people, and it's also anyone who could sit here, man, in these last 4 years and be okay with the direction our country's taken, man, and think another 4 years of this is sustainable. It just isn't. It isn't, man. The leadership at the highest office in our country shouldn't be pandering or bait and switching or doing the shit you do, man. Like it's a sad fact. I don't give a fuck how you feel about him. You feel about me, man. But it's a sad fucking fact, man, that he's terrible at his fucking job. That during all these things, you can't do what your job's supposed to do, and that's be lead the people. If half your country's angry, it's for a justifiable fucking reason. Fucking address it. Don't address other shit and say it was very bad, I didn't feel good, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. Man, suck a dick, bro. Do what you as a United States president, what other United States presidents who came before you, even if they didn't fucking believe in it, did. And that was have the balls to stand up. This is the thing about the whole George Bush situation through 9/11, everything he said, everything that happened. And even still, that man, even though he knew he had those reports, he knew what happened. He should have known who came after the fact, even however you feel about it. Got up there in front of everyone and said, we're going to put this country first. We're going to hunt down the people who did this, and we're going to put it. And, what did everyone do? September 12th, September 13th, everyone was happy to be a fucking American. This is one of the worst moments of our lives. Something that's ingrained in someone like me and you, bro. I was fucking 14 years old. I was 14 years old, and I remember that day clear as fucking day, and I talk about it a few times a year. You don't get over that. You just don't. That's ingrained in our memories. And he still got up there knowing he was going to go into Iraq, knowing he lied about WMDs, but he could still get up there and lead a country through a crisis. He could still say the right words. Even if half the people didn't believe him, he could still say the right words. Even if he didn't understand the words he said.
He did have his dad as president, though.
He had his dad as president. He had one of his daddy's old running buddies as his vice president. He had somebody else who was close to daddy in his cabinet, and Donald Rumsfeld. He had enough people who were close to daddy, enough people who were in it, people he knew to help him guide him, man. And he knew that as a United States president, what it requires. It doesn't require you to pander to just your likers, the people who love you. That's one thing I'll give Obama. He didn't pander just to the blacks who loved him and the real, like, the really, like, fucking progressive whites who loved him. He didn't just pander to us or them. He tried to, it's America, this country, we need to figure this out. You look at everyone right now.
You voted for Obama before, right?
I voted for Obama.
So on the ballot, it's not just Democrat and Republican. There's going to be other people.
It's going to be Democrat, Republican, and then it'll show you like
the independents.
Independents, Working Party, Green Party, said Working Family Party, Green Party, Independent. There's other parties like the Progressive Party. There's so many other parties. Some people can run under other parties. Multiple candidates can run under other parties. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Has any, from whatever you know, has anyone from a non-democratic or non-republican party won presidency?
I mean, back when it was like Federalist and shit. But
So you're talking
long time.
100 years.
Long time. Back when they were like Federalist and shit. Like, yeah, but now, no.
Because now it just seems like, regardless of who's on the ballot.
It's the thing that our founding fathers feared the most and they saw it coming, man, was the two-party system. And there's so many quotes about them. If you allow it to become a bipartisan thing like this, then the United States will suffer for it. And we suffer for it frequently. That simple things, man, because, oh, my people in this area won't get that, or our people here won't get that. Like, the whole country's fucked right now. Or that you guys don't want to acknowledge it, or because, you know, you want to support or look like you're supporting the president. Like, people are like, it's like, yo, you have to agree with dumb shit, bro. Like, simple things. Like, science isn't a perfect science. And that's the one thing any scientist will tell you. Science isn't a perfect science. But it is tough to fucking refute science. And that all of you refute science on fucking simple things. Like something as simple as wearing a mask. 200,000 Americans dead, and we still have people saying this is the regular fucking flu. People that want to send their kids back to school and this shit, to have them all bunched up in these, like let's be honest, like with the thing with the United.
Seen the anti-masker protests. People gathering, just throwing their masks away.
These are really cool people who want that. These are really good people who want their country to reopen, who want everything to go back to normal. They want their hair salons. They want to be able to eat indoors. They don't want to have to wear a mask, wash their hands. They want to go back to being regular, good old-fashioned Americans. That's what they want. They want to go back to America. And you have people protesting for, you know, racial equality, social justice. And I don't agree with the way, you know, some people went about it. Tossing shit, burning cars. I don't agree with that shit. I'm never going to agree with that.
A lot of those people were opportunists,
I understand the rage and anger behind it. Yes, a lot of them are opportunists. A lot of them. But look at the news this week with what came out about ICE, where you say, well, news is coming out. You have ICE doing forced hysterectomies on women in some of these detention places.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Forced hysterectomies. And then people go to a peaceful march in fucking Times Square, standing in the street, and the NYPD does what? They come cracking fucking skulls. And it shouldn't shock anyone. It shouldn't shock anyone with the dumb shit that comes out of fucktard Patrick Lynch's mouth, that the NYPD is okay with that.
Was that the commissioner?
Nah, he's the president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association. He's the guy who, whenever something happens with a cop or anything, who you always show speaking, rarely the commissioner, because the commissioner understands how things run. Mm-hmm. He's the guy who you will see usually saying something stupid or something that's really misguided. He's a fucking cocksucker.
What's the jurisdiction for NYPD?
5 boroughs.
So Long Island has their own.
Usually the counties have their own. You know,
that'll be Nassau County,
Suffolk County, Garden City, whoever the fuck you are, East Hampton, Farham, whoever the fuck you are, usually have their own like police departments.
I don't know if I was telling you this the other day, but when I was working for this Hasidic Jewish family in Borough Park, I used to go. The entire neighborhood was Jewish, so everything was kosher. There was nothing, no delis and shit like that, and they had green cop cars, the BPPD, Borough Park Police Department, and it was Hasidic Jews, cops who drive it. Like, they police themselves. That shit fucking blew my mind.
NYPD is still over there, but they have their own community patrols.
So that's more of a patrol thing than
they're not
certified.
I don't think they have peace officer status. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but they in their community are treated and act as cops, and people will call them before the police in those communities because they're tight knit and they trust them more. But and something bigger happens, the NYPD takes over. It's not them. And NYPD is always involved. NYPD has jurisdiction over New York City. Unless, you know, it's something federal.
And that's when the big boys come in.
That's when it's the feds, DA, you know, God knows. Hopefully not the CIA, anybody like that, but you never know. But usually it's...
And how many shadow agencies exist out here?
God knows, man. And, you know, we think about the ones we know. NSA, CIA, you know, the DIA.
That's almost pop culture compared to these other shits,
you know. This shit you don't even know, man. The clandestine shit that might be going on,
just
man.
Look at fucking your favorite show, 24. It's like that shit.
That's my favorite show, bro. And like I tell people, like I believe that we have no idea where CTU is. and that there's a CTU like organization somewhere for like just in the world today, regardless of how we feel about things. I don't know if there's a way the United States could survive without a CTU type organization since 9/11.
What does CTU stand for?
Counterterrorism unit. I just
So
don't.
was that what Jack Bauer was?
That's who Jack Bauer worked for seasons 1 through 4, and then he went back to work for them 5. And when they had to bring him back for those special statuses and shit in other seasons, but he was always involved in shit going on there. It's just
When I see the black cars, I feel like the people that drive the black cars, the people that be in the big black joints that's getting like police escorts through the fucking city and shit like that.
when like and people don't pay
Gotta
attention
be
to how
shadow-
often you
shadow
see
police.
those shits, man. And not even when they have when you know it's when you can see like maybe NYPD, like maybe the motorcycle unit in front, and then you see some of these caravans through the city. Like I remember, like even like the amount because being in theater district, the amount of people like senators, people like that. Like I remember one time we were up the block. And we're we're doing stage door, and like like we see a bunch of cops up the block and sirens and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on there? And the beat cop's like, oh, Nancy Pelosi's eating lunch up the block. I'm like, where? She was like, oh, La Masseria. I'm like, right across. Oh shit. And like seeing like when the Secret Service pulled out, the way they like checked everything, like and like she stopped and waved at us and shit. Like, hey, but like seeing that shit when that happens, like when the Obamas went to the boss, when the Clintons went to the boss. Like the way they walk the perimeter, the way they're there soon.
You think that these guys have to work their way up from being regular cops that walk the beat, detective, Secret Service?
Like some of them like are usually sometimes in military. Some people you don't just join the Secret Service, and if you do, like you don't just become like plainclothes. You might go to Secret Service police or have to do some other shit. You don't just go.
So the only other alternative to being a cop would be being a soldier, and then.
Or being a federal agent, like you go into FBI and go like right as a field agent, but you wouldn't work your way up to that type of shit right away. Like if you were put on that type of detail, you'd be doing something like perimeter work, some bullshit where you're standing there for like fucking 12, 16 hours. Like I put it like this: when they would come in, when the United Nations General Assembly comes into to the city every year, when they come in, we knew because the dog handlers would stay in the hotel right across from us. And everyone from the Secret Service stayed in the hotel right across from us. And just the whole street is lined with white vans with government plates and black, navy blue, or black SUVs with government plates. And just you see the people get out of them. They all women in, pantsuits, men with ill-fitting, suits, and they all have the book bag. You can tell by the shoes. You can tell by some of them, like you don't want to sound generic, but the Oakley shades, like the dark, some of them wearing those. Like, you can look at them right away and tell, yep, you guys are all Secret Service or federal agents. How you doing, Mr. Federal Officer?
Federales.
Yep. I remember walking in there one day and I was like, fuck, this is a lot of feds, man. Like, because we used to go into the hotel lobby on break to sit there because they had like a mouse lounge area and we'd sit there. And they didn't mind it. They didn't beef with us about it. So when they were there, man, it's like shit, man. I walked in, I was like, shit. There's a lot of federal officers here, man. Like, I think I'm gonna go sit outside, guys. This is making me a little bit uneasy. Like it was just, like.
Do they have a license to kill?
I don't know. I don't know if a license to kill exists, man. I don't know if that's like a real thing. I honestly don't know. Like if there's like CIA.
I mean, there's got to be like a
MI6.
certain sector of the military that when they bring these guys out, they have a purpose.
That's like Delta Force and shit, man. You think we know about the Army Rangers, we know about, but like the real secret forces, I don't want to say secret forces, special forces, like the real Delta Force, like the niggas that do the CIA shit, the shit that happens behind the scenes, behind enemy line shit. We don't know much about them. And they operate under a different set of rules, but they still have to respect the rules of engagement and shit like that. So like when you're working in the military and like you're thinking license to kill James Bond, he wasn't military, he was in the intelligence.
Secret Service.
Yeah, he's MI6. That's an intelligence agency, like the British. They're almost like the British CIA, so to speak, maybe. But
That shit is real though.
I know that's real, but I don't know if they get like license to kill, as like, you know what I'm saying? If they actually have a license to kill, like, you know what I mean? I don't think they get you blindly going around like bang, 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 license to kill. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the end of fucking Lethal Weapon 2, diplomatic immunity. Like, it's not like license to kill, nigga. Bang, license to kill, homie. Bang. Like, I don't think that's how it goes. I'm just, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think
that's how it is either. But I think if they body somebody, then
I think that if they
won't face the same.
If it's their target, if they're after someone, then they'll clean it up. And then these people, you have to think, man. You see the way these people clean up, the way people you can spot. Like you say like people can spot other people, other federal agents can spot another federal agent a mile away. Like, you know what I'm saying? People know these things, bro. Like, so it's you never honestly know, man. But I always will believe that there is, like, I've always believed, like I've said it a long time. I believe there's like a Jack Bauer, or like people like Jack Bauer who've kept us alive through situations and shit. We'll never know it happened.
You know what profession? We still got a couple minutes left.
Yeah, got like 8 minutes.
You know what profession? I feel like there's so much red tape around it, but it's like bounty hunters. It's like, how is it that these regular people could just run down on wanted criminals and shit with fucking AR-15s and just show up to the precinct to hand these guys over? Like,
eventually, but those are sanctioned bounties. Like, these are like, these people are wanted. We haven't found them, so eventually they out. It's like outsourcing. It's like mercenaries, like how Blackwater did, like over there. It's like the same intelligence overseas. They haven't had any luck finding these people, like agencies, police departments, jurisdictions. So then it's not like they just died. He's wanted. Fuck that. We're getting him before the cops. Like, we need that money. The cops haven't, and they put it out for this reward. And if you're a bounty hunter, usually, but then it's also like with bounty hunters, they're not like, bounty hunters aren't running down on murder suspects. They're not running down on fucking people wanted for killings. They're running down on people like jumping bail, running down on people like for doing wild shit, like child
abuse.
Like, no, not child abuse, like avoiding child support payments, like being in like fair. And it's like maybe the person's armed, this person's a known gang member, so that's why they have the weapons and shit. But most of the time when they do that, it's like these aren't the people like that you think are like when it's those type of levels of people you're thinking of, that's handled by the cops, by federal jurisdictions, by task force and shit.
You watch these bounty hunter videos, these people be running down on these criminals and shit, and I'm just like, they're acting like cops, like they got deputy status or something. But
bounty hunters you have to become like licensed, like they have badges and shit. Like, I don't know how it works where, like, there's not bounty hunters everywhere. There's only certain states that allow that shit. Like, I don't know if there's bounty hunters like in New York, like Jersey, anything like that. I know like there's process servers.
Yeah, Dog the bounty hunter was chasing people in fucking trailer parks and shit.
Yeah, like that's not like out here
in the city.
Huh?
That's not in the city.
That's not in the city. It's just places where you don't have the manpower. It's easier for people to hide. These people know that these areas a bit more. So when those rewards go out, then they get the reward. Turn this person in. That's usually, that's how I believe it works. I'm not 100% sure on that, man, but I would believe that's how it goes. But like that shit, nigga.
This dude was a bounty hunter.
Oh.
That lived next door to Nook. In the other building, I don't want to say his name. Tall dude. Studio in his crib.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
He's a fucking bounty hunter, bro.
Where?
I don't know.
It had to have been somewhere down south.
So, like every time I would talk to him, he would always tell me about, because he would travel to do that, so I guess it'd be down south or something like that, but he would go get a bag and then come back. Because he's ex-military, man. Like, those are the guys who do it. Like, ex-military, ex-cops. Ex-people who worked intelligence, like, that's why, like, a lot of private investigators and more money. So for some of them to leave the police force, I could become a private investigator. What I've learned as a detective, as an investigator, make more money doing that. I don't have to deal with murder and shit. Like, that's why a lot of them leave and do it. Yeah, but even PIs be getting fucking slack from the police.
Yeah, because, sometimes they fucking mess up a crime scene. They fuck some shit up. Like, unless you're, like, if you're just a private eye without the history behind you, yeah. But if you're a private eye who, like, maybe retired from the force,
yeah,
they get a bit more leeway than just, like, if you and me were a private eye. Like, yeah, snooping around.
Bud and Roach, PI.
Bud and Roach gonna get fucked up. We try that.
If not sued.
Hey, listen here, you goddamn delinquent stoner fucks.
Oh shit.
Like, I can see it now, man. Like I can see it now, man. Like it wouldn't work out. Like, but yeah, man. Shit, man. Like while we're here, man, we have to. I guess we right now re-shout out, man. That right now it's fall 2020, and the 30 days to rock 2 for fall.
There it is.
2020 started yesterday. We will get out and we will let you guys know the schedule soon. It's not just a month this time. We like the 30 days to rock name, so we kept it. But right now,
it's a whole season.
From September 22nd to December 21st. We're gonna rock this fucker. Once we know, what shows are coming, what performances are gonna be happening, you guys will know how you can tune in and how you can help, support the art, support the artists, and support the venues, man. And like I said, man, you're getting A-class quality professional work from the good folks here at First Live Studio here in Bushwick, Brooklyn, 219 Central Avenue, man. Just holla at my man, Danny. And when you see this work, when you see the way these videos come out, don't be like later down, yo, can I get on 30 days to rock? Nah, bro, the schedule's filled, man. We told you how to do it, and you ain't want to listen.
You should have listened.
You should have listened. That's all you had to do was listen, and you didn't listen. So now you where you at?
And we're doing live in studio and mobile broadcast.
Yes.
Bringing out Merv finally.
Merv will be out for the folks, man.
After 2.5 years.
Yes, Merv will be out, man.
Has it been 2.5 years since we started this?
It's been about. So finally get Merv out in action. So yeah, man, you guys know where to do it. You guys know where to tune in, man. That it's here at 30 days to rock.us, man. And we just want to thank you all for tuning in today, man. This morning, I want to thank my brother coming on, doing Zone Knows with us. I want to thank you. Had great conversation today. Everyone that tuned in, everyone that always helps. We want to thank Danny over there. What Danny does when he shout out. Can we get Danny?
Let's get a shot at Danny real quick.
Yeah, we gotta get a shot at Danny before he close out, man.
There we go.
There we go. Look at how he can still get it done, man. Can't even see. That's how we do it over here. Cause that's how good we are, man.
Oh, shit.
If you need anything Bud and Roach related, man, you can find it all over at www.budandroach.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Bud and Roach.
And you know why you can follow us. And you already know, baby. Because we do the fucking yurt.